Welcome to the next episode of Bob Degree's Audio Stories. Um, this is a story I wrote in an airport in Sacramento, California. Sometimes I get my best. My imagination gets better when I'm around strangers. So this is not unlike just about every one of my stories that always have something to do with love in it. This has something to do with love. It's called The Ransom of Love. The ice in my glass makes a clicking noise as I lift it to my lips. Because of the angle, I see a mysterious man with a dark, spotty. Let's try that again. My glass, the ice in my glass makes a clicking noise as I lift it to my lips. Because of the angle, I see a mysterious person with a dark, spotty beard and a smile that seems to be missing every other tooth. It's really difficult to even call it a smile. For he looks as if life punched him in the face, and he's looking for some vengeance for his pain. The airport seems to have an energy of a bear during hibernation, except for that one guy. No one seems to know his name, and even fewer want to ask the question. The first thing this performer did to attract an audience was to grab a glass from the bar, turn 180 degrees, and smash the glass into millions of faux diamonds. If it was possible, the people at the bar got even quieter. It gave the term silence a run for its money. He then stared at the bartender as if he was looking through his soul, an action that was driven by hate and evil intent. No words were spoken as the barback scrambled to sweep up the actions of the man, to sweep them under the table or out the door. The stranger then uttered one word, one that no one expected to hear. Love. He fell to his knees as tears streamed down his face, imagining that the circumstances that led him through the door were the result of a heartbreak and a soul-crushing pain that no human could possibly navigate. For him, it must have been like driving down a dirt road in a dark fog that was as thick as pea soup, unable to even see the taillights of the car ahead. This caused frustration and anger. He seemed to have made a choice to explain or act out that without love in his life, the only emotion that was left was dark hate. A world absent of the light of love must have fueled his rage. No one dared take one step in his direction. The bartender, with the bar as his safety barrier, asked the man if he was okay and if he needed help. With a deep growl, the semi-toothless man said, "You don't care about me. No one does." One of the patrons stood up, and the troubled man reached into his pocket and threw the first thing he could grab, which was his cell phone, scaring the patron back to his seat. From that point on, they all felt like they were being held hostage by a man who seemed to be asking for unconditional love as his ransom. He was just in too much pain to ask for it. As he seemed to reflect on the moment, the man became quiet and motionless. The room was so vacant of sound, the only thing you could hear was his emotionally weighted tears hitting the floor. Everyone around him stayed still like statues, not knowing what would happen if they moved one muscle. After several minutes of silence, a young person walked in without the prejudice of knowing what had happened previously. Everyone seemed to hold their breath as this young person walked towards the troubled man. He turned towards her, and someone yelled, "Please, don't hurt her!" He looked up at the person who yelled with a look of anger. As he did, the young person touched his tattooed arm. Without hesitation, she said, "I love you. I truly do, Daddy." Then the pain seemed to melt into more tears. The young girl opened her arms and said, "Daddy, will you hug me?" At that point, the animal in this man became human again, wiped the tears from his eyes, and reached out, and the two embraced. The tension of the moment transitioned to the warmth of unconditional love. Everything that we long for, he seemed to finally receive. He stood up and gave her his right hand, and the father reached out and gave his. As they joined them, they walked out the doorway to a place where they hopefully never have to feel the emptiness in the absence that the absence of love can create. Slowly, the rumble of whispers turned into conversations, the kind of things that usually happens between strangers in an airport, often unimportant and fabricated, spoken with the comfort of knowing that they will never see each other again. Not unlike the way we sometimes engage in insincere words or phrases without considering the consequences that they may have. The lesson that these two seem to have learned about how sincerity in words can hurt or heal. I hope that is not lost on all the folks, including me, who witnessed this moment. It didn't really happen, but it's important. You know, words do hurt. But sometimes because maybe we heard father say it, or mother say it, or brother say it, doesn't make that it's okay. I know that I'm a broken record when I say we need to spend more time lifting others up rather than tearing people down. But I guess that's just how I feel. Anyways, one of the things I do want to say is, if you do ever, anybody wants these bookmarks that I got reminding them of when the planted seed will come out, it makes a kind of handy bookmark, and I use them to follow along as I read, because as you all know, I'm not the best reader in the world. But anyways, if you want one, just send me a little text or an email at plantedseed321@gmail.com, and I'll mail one out to you. I'll mail a dozen out to you. I don't care. I just it's important. We're getting closer and closer to the publishing date and the pre-order date of this book, and I really do want to fulfill my mom's dream of having her message reach as many people as humanly possible. So anyways, if you want 50 of these, just let me know. I'll mail them out to you. I love you all, and I appreciate that you stop your day, one day, a moment of a day, to spend with me and listening to my stories. I can't tell you how much I appreciate that. I love you very much, and God bless.